Hey everyone. Didn't think I'd be back on this, but here we are. I spent a little time scraping up the dirt. Oh yeah, speaking of it, we're now in full 1080p. Well, it's a digital zoom, but you can now see the dirt in extra good detail. Anyways, so last video of this, I diagnosed it with a bad power transformer. If you didn't see it, hopefully I'll remember to put a link in the video description. Because this was popping and sizzling and making a light bulb go full brightness. Or very close to, I'm not exactly. But at any rate, this was bad. I don't know if any of these other ones are bad. I know this, I replaced this tube socket. You can see that it's extra. We're going in nauseous mode. You can see that it's extra really bad. Although I could probably find some way to make it secure. All the stuff for this I have, it's over on the other end of the garage here, with it's all contained and safe. So what I'm hoping to do is replace the power transformer in this with a new one. That unfortunately this is the closest one I could find. I am a little worried that it is significantly smaller. I mean, yeah, I've seen, I know of, what do you call it? Evolution, where stuff can get smaller over time, but I don't really know if a transformer gets smaller over time. I mean, there's a chance that with this being machine made, which I doubt this one was, because Zenith, you know, they're all about building stuff handcrafted. I believe this was made with a machine, mostly, if I can talk today, this was made with a machine, I know that. And hopefully this will work and not burn up too. So, I'm going to have to grab a computer or something to look at the schematic on how to wire this. Although, maybe not. Alrighty. Now that we flipped the thing over, you can see that you can see what has been done to this. Well, very little has been done to it other than the tube socket I replaced. And, yeah. So, I'm going to have to figure out how to mount this transformer in here. I'm going to have to figure out where all these wires are going. I think the green wires are the filament wires. The red ones are the, B+, I think that's what that is, because this is coming out of the transformer, it goes into the rectifier tube, and then it comes out of the rectifier tube to the other stuff. There's a lot of uhs in this video. I'm gonna need to figure out where the power comes in. So, yeah, I got a bit of work cut out for me. So if I go into handheld mode again, these black wires here, I'm 95% sure those are the AC input wires going over here, because one end comes out of the record changer here, because it uses the record changer to switch on and off the amplifier, and the other wire goes directly off the AC input, which is unplugged. It's right here. It is unplugged. I'm not stupid. And the white wire that goes off to the, looks like that goes, the white wire from the transformer goes off of the brown wire from the, what is that doing? Okay, confusion mode has set in. What is that white wire doing? Unless if that's, so this white wire connects to, brown on the, hold on, let me look at some wiring diagrams real quick. Now that I got the worst Dell Inspiron the internet has ever seen, the worst Dell Inspiron 5100 the internet has ever seen, should be good enough for viewing a PDF. So we got our schematic here loaded up. It's I guess it's from the factory service manual. I don't know, it's whatever I found on the internet. So we're over here. There's the connection. So if we go over here, see our brown wire is connected to the white on the transformer. So we'll look at brown. So it goes, it looks like it goes to ground and directly to a 0.01 on the side of the power transformer. Time to make sense of this. So I was looking at this. I found the 0.01. I'm going to put this in continuity mode. If I check here, okay, good, it's not that. So one side of this 0.01 should be connected to ground. The other side of it connected to here. Neither side of it's connected to ground. Okay, let me try going through this brown wire here on this small X connector. Nope. Okay, this just got a little bit more interesting. Oh, I see. What? The confusion has set in. The changer has been grabbed. Oh boy. Move for me, please. Thanks. Okay, so the brown wire connects to this wire here, which grounds the turntable, or which grounds the frame of the changer. So what does it do? Is it necessary? I guess it's for eliminating hum. But then why is it going through the transformer? Got an update. While I was poking around, I determined that yes, this white wire is in fact ground, and I was just making a bad connection. There we go. So that wire, I don't know why it's going into the transformer. I could look into that. It just goes to ground, like what the schematic up here says. So the camera battery died, and because the time was around that time, I decided to take a lunch break, and now I'm back. I've been filled up, the camera's now charged. We can continue. So, not exactly sure where I left off, but I think I determined that this white wire was connected to ground through a 0.01. I guess we can unwrap this this transformer. I'm looking for something to open it with. Do I have any? One moment, please. Turns out I didn't need any way to cut it because there's already like a hole here. Just gotta remove the shrink. I think this is shrink wrap. There we go. There sounds like we're getting somewhere. Trying not to mess it up. Oh, looks like I'm getting caught on a wire. Don't want to mess that up. I gotta say, I'm impressed with how this is wrapped. I have no clue how they did it. There's some of it. There we go. Yeah, I didn't really expect the, I guess that's the adhesive from this. I guess, oh no, this isn't, I don't know why it feels sticky. Let's undo some of these wires. Whoops. Keep it in frame here. Got a little monitor to see where I am at. This must have been wrapped up for a while. And there's our transformer. Hey, it's me in the editing room. Like aka my bedroom. I'm going through the footage here, and section of it's missing. So there's gonna be a small chunk that's not gonna make sense. But hopefully there's still enough here to where it does make sense. Sorry about that. I'm at this over here, and you can't see it because it's not on it right now, but that what I thought was a white wire is actually a red and yellow wire. Colors are just faded, and it goes from the center tap of the transformer to ground. And well, I guess I can check the impedance of this transformer. Alright, so I made a discovery about this transformer. See if I can get this to where you can see it. Zoom in a little bit. So, the two 115 volt input windings are completely separate. There are no center taps to it. They're just completely separate windings. And if you want to make 240 volts, you connect a wire to each end of the winding, like the black wire of one winding and the red wire of another winding, and then you take the extra ones here and you touch them together, and that's how you get your 240 volt input. Because well, let me back up a little bit. So I determined that the output of this on the using just 120 volt input will make the output too high for this. So, and then that's when I determined that if I make this a 240 volt transformer, since I live in a 120 volt country, it'll roughly split that in half to get it close enough to the desired voltage for this amplifier. Now, I need to make sure that this works first, and instead of just hooking it up and watching this burn up tubes, because tubes get expensive quick, and I already had to buy a new rectifier tube because the one that came out of this was destroyed by the mouse infestation, although somehow the rest of the tubes survived. So I've been doing experimenting and research on the computer. Yeah, there are no data sheets for this, which I was kind of surprised about, seeing how many of these are on eBay. And the eBay description isn't quite descriptive of how to wire this, which I wouldn't expect it to be, but then I'd also expect a data sheet to be on the internet. So that's what I've discovered thus far. There we have our primary setup, so that it hopefully gives us the voltage we want. There's our wire nut splicing things together. And these are the AC input. There's two wires here. It's just connected to the multimeter right now. That's how I was able to do that. Because what I'm trying to achieve on the outputs is, well, I'm going to have to figure out the filament voltage, get that right. But second off, I'm trying to get 115 or thereabouts on the secondary. So then when I use the center tap, or when I put those two together, I should say, I get the I'm not sure which one of these are filament or what. So that when I put the two B plus wires together, I get the 240 volts that this the amplifier period calls for. And then when I use the center tap, like how they have it, it's correct, because before it would have been way too much. Because if I go up here to the schematic, you can see that the output calls for 265 volts, and if I put the transformer on 120 volts through the windings here, it'll be 230 volts on each side of the center tap, making that around, I don't know, 460. And I don't know about anybody else, but that's way too much. Because here's our here's each side of the B plus rail, B plus of the transformer before it goes in the tube. It needs that 230 volts thereabouts on each side of the tube, and then the center tap goes to the ground point to give us the ground on the chassis. So that's why I'm doing this and being very cautious, because I don't want to burn anything up intentionally. I've already done that plenty of times on other things. Alright, the moment has come that I've been secretly dreading, to be honest. If I see anybody doing what I'm currently gonna do, you need a slap on the wrist, because this is actually kind of stupid and you could get hurt. So I got my dim bulb over there. I really need to make an actual dim bulb tester. This is just a lamp that I made out of stuff. And it's going there. Got one clip lead connected to one side of this transformer. Got the other side of the other clip lead connected to the other side. And then we got a power cord going down to that outlet down there. And we got all the wires taped so that they're not touching anything. Yeah, this scares me, because this is kind of dangerous. I want to test to make sure my voltages are right, because yeah, I might not even do this. So I'm looking for around a certain amount of 115 volts there, I think. See what we get. And yep, that's what we get on that side. I'm going to try the other side. Same there. And if I put these together, should get roughly 240. It went over. Yep, that's close enough to what I'm looking for. And I'm going to check these filament leads, see what we get. It's not going to be 6.3 like what I'm looking for, but find out what it is. Two volts, not enough. Looks like I'm going to run out of memory card space too. Okay, what happens if I put these together? So I do this. I'm gonna pause it under a minute. Let's see what this is. And that makes the voltage that I need. This transformer will work, and now it's time to go clear the memory card, because it's just about full. So I was thinking, while I'm in here, I might as well replace these two wax capacitors, since they've got a track record of not being good anymore. So instead of just getting individual ones, I decided to go with the Amazon Special, because at this channel we fix things, but we also like to save a buck. All these are all polypropylene film capacitors, which I did look it up, and they are a suitable replacement for paper capacitors. So now I gotta open this. Maybe I should do it on camera. Do with that video as much. Do with that clip with as what you please. Okay, so we got a bunch of choices here. Hopefully, which are what's in here. We got a 400 volt 0.04. You can see that there. And this is our that there is our 0.01. We got 0.01s and there's our 0.047 or whatever it was. It's got them. Electronics are actually kind of funny. So, if I can pick that up there. This is the size of the old capacitor. And that's what is able to replace it. I just find that funny since this is really big and for 0.047, and this is quite a small capacitor. It's actually pretty funny. Every time I heat up one of these wires, it just smells like mouse poop. It's gross, but kind of funny. I mean, it makes sense. Saw the last two videos. I probably went over that. Don't need to hear it a third time. Alright, now that we have the most butchered Zenith KPS-80 in probably the world, the new transformer is installed. Only one of the screw holes lined up, which I was not surprised about. All the wires are hooked up exactly where they are supposed to go. I did replace the two wax capacitors with these film capacitors. All that there's left to do now is to test it. I can double check with the multimeter to make sure the voltages are going where they're supposed to. So that we have 6.3 volts on all the tube filaments, and I can check to see that there's the voltage that we want here, and maybe I'll go grab the rectifier to see if we have the right voltage going to the capacitor. Fingers crossed that we do. One thing I thought I could do was put some cleaner in these sockets here. Should be enough. And I'll get a tube and put them in and remove them. I truly do have all the hardware for this thing, plus some stuff that really shouldn't be in here. I even have the broken tube. You know that? This is the original 6x4. When I pulled it out, it literally just kind of fell apart because it already was shattered. You can see it's been that way for a while. Alright, here we go with the smoke test. I got the dim bulb connected up. I'm going to plug it in. Got my hand on the plug. That's a good sign. This didn't light up at all. The last power transformer, this light bulb lit up pretty bright with nothing connected. So I'm going to plug this back in. Alright, fair enough. Multimeter probes. So we want pin 1 and 6. And I don't see anything. Great. Unplug. I'll be right back. So it's after the weekend. I was filming the first half of this video, or whatever, the first part of this video on a Friday. It's now Monday. I populated the 6X4. I have the multimeter on the over here, just off. I got the multimeter here. I don't have any mini grabber probes, so I'm just clipped some alligator clip leads to the probes of the meter. Should work okay. Going through a light bulb, and yeah, we're gonna see if we get the specified voltage that they call for. Now it's probably gonna be high since there's no load. None of the other tubes are populated, so this would only be the rectifier and the capacitor. I should actually probably start with a small light bulb. I mean, I can do that. So I installed the smallest light bulb I could find. It's a 40 watt. It's not quite small enough, but it should be hopefully good enough for what we're doing here. So here we go. Moment of truth. And alright, we're plugged in. Now time to see what happens. Nothing. Well, the light bulb's not lighting up, so something's not right. Alright, let me check my connections. No. This might account for something. Yeah, the power to the record changer is not plugged in. Oops. The record changer is plugged back in. I wonder if the tube is lighting up yet. I don't see any voltage. Oh great, there goes the multimeter. Now that everything's up, we got tube filament. It's going to be low because it's going through the light bulb. Well, that's a good start. We are I think the tube wasn't making good connection in the socket, and also the meter fell off the workbench. So I'm gonna So yeah, it's low from the light bulb. I'm wondering if I think I'm reforming this capacitor. This thing probably hasn't been plugged in a couple of years, at least. I'm thinking it hasn't been used in at least 40 years. I'm going to a bigger bulb. I'll let this sit for a little bit, and I'm in no hurry. I got all day. Look, you can actually see the B plus voltage slowly going up. I'm assuming that's after the capacitor's reforming. Mind you, it is being current limited by the 60 watt light bulb that's over there. I have one larger light bulb I can go to. I can go to a 100 watt, and I'd have to get the light bulb splitter, which I think I've been had on eBay. This tube that was supposed to test good, I'm kind of certain that it's weak, because all the voltages on the meter that I measured, they were all very low. Even on the 100 watt light bulb, which didn't even light up. But I don't have an extra one of these because unlike a lot of vintage electronics channels on YouTube, I don't have a stash of tubes, because this is a hobby that I just started, that I just got into recently after watching videos of this stuff for years, because it's like, I've always had an interest in electronics. I think it'd be cool to start trying to fix some old electronics. So next time I go shopping around on eBay or whatever, I do need to should probably contact the sellers, like, is this tube does this tube test good at 5 volts or whatever? Because every time I go out for yard sales or whatever, I do look for test equipment, but none of the yard sales I ever go to have any. And if they do, which I haven't seen any, it's probably gonna be the price is probably gonna be through the roof, and the stuff's not worth too much because nobody does it anymore. But I digress. I think I'm about ready to populate the amp tubes to see if I get any audio. Alright, tubes have been repopulated. I'm gonna go back down to a 60 watt since I don't trust this thing. So, current limit in place. And here we go. I'm gonna energize it with the tubes installed. I don't hear anything. The camera's flashing low battery. I heard crackling out a speaker. Maybe the light bulb's current limiting too much. Anyway, I gotta take a break and recharge the camera battery. Alright, I'm back from lunch and having the battery charge. I'm gonna plug everything back in. Our light bulb's going. Our tubes are starting to glow. May need to put that 100 watt bulb on this. Not hearing anything. Let me look at a couple things. We have activity on the speaker over here. I don't know if you can hear it or not if I touch the speaker or the wire. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I'm gonna connect my iPod, see if I can get sound. We have sound out of all the speakers. There's sound out of all three. So the amplifier is working. It'd probably be louder if I was using the original speakers, but hey, this is great. So we'll get our little vacuum. We'll get our little vacuum here. And vacuum up the mouse turds from when the mouse lived in this. This should hopefully help with the smell. Not sponsored, but hopefully this helps with the smell. I'll wipe down the outside because it got a little gross from sitting. Alright, here's the test. Need to do something about the idler wheel on this. Oh. There, it's working. I think I got the subwoofer out of phase by accident. Well, actually no, how could I do that? Maybe it's because the lid's open. Yeah, that's it. But there, it's working. Thanks for watching this long video, and there's the cat. This is gonna be a long one, I just know it. But yeah, it's done now and it's working. I gotta talk over this. I wanna thank everyone who stuck to the end for watching, and this has been a long project in the way. Go with him. This has been a long project in the making, and it took pretty much a year to get it done, and now it's done. Thanks for watching, and more to come later.